So in this video, I just wanted to talk about and share my experience with some photos and videos on the Ironman 70.3 World Championships in Taupo, New Zealand. I was fortunate enough to qualify with the roll down slot, and so here's a video and photos of my experience. So the swim, 1.9 miles, 1.2 kilometers. I'm not the strongest swimmer, so I was definitely kind of nervous for it. I know that in most conditions I can get to the end under the time limit, no problem. But I had done a practice swim a couple days prior on Friday afternoon, and the midday practice swim was just kind of insane. I mean, the waves are super high. With white caps, and I definitely was really nervous. I mean, even 300 meters had me really scared of how the swim was going to go. So come race morning, I was a little bit nervous, and there looked like there were some waves. Really wasn't as bad as that midday swim. So I was trying to calm down a little bit, but really was super nervous. And my friend Max, who was there supporting me in the morning and carrying my gear for me, he mentioned, hey, the water looks pretty calm, and I thought he was just kidding and trying to calm me down. But when I finally looked over, it looked pancake flat, and honestly, super amazing. So that definitely calmed me down a lot and got me excited for it. I know I was going to come out of the water pretty much one of the slowest swimmers, but I put myself in the middle of the group just so I can try to hold some feet here and there as the swim went through and have a better sighting line as people passed me. So yeah, that's what I did. I started somewhere in the middle towards the back a little bit. But definitely with a lot of people behind me. But I came out one of the last swimmers, did not finish with the slowest swim, so that feels good, and it was a personal best for me. 40 minutes 30 seconds approximately. Definitely by far 5 to 7 minutes faster than I thought I was going to swim. So the wetsuit, the comfort blanket for me definitely helped out, and the flat waters and just holding some feet here and there. I think I was fitter and felt more comfortable in the water than I ever have. But yeah, definitely happy with how the swim went, and there it was a long transition and onto the bike. So the bike ride, I was a little bit sluggish in transition, just getting dried off and getting sunscreen on. I heard some warnings from some of the locals that just with the thinner ozone layer and stuff like that, likely to burn. So took my time in transition, got on the bike. The hill out of transition was a little bit rough. Took a little bit to get kind of the juices flowing and get into a groove, but I feel like I settled in well. I rented a bike for the race. I had a couple weeks of travel planned for after the race, so did not travel on my bike. I only have a road bike with clip-on aero bars anyways, so I didn't think it'd be worth it. The bike was pretty well adjusted, as well as it could be on short notice. Nicer road bike than mine, or at least than the last time I raced. So yeah, I feel like I settled into a groove, and the bike's for sure I feel like my strongest leg, so I think I settled in tactically pretty well. I was being careful not to get into the draft zones, but when different groups would pass me, I would slot in, or not slot in, but I'd try to ride the tail wave of some of those groups as much as I could. With being at the legal distance back, definitely a few moments where I was on the rivet a little, but overall I think it was really good tactically in terms of how my bike ride planned out towards the end. I definitely got a little I was fighting a little bit of cramping at like my hip flexor area, top of the quads a little. It really wasn't bad. I just dialed it back for a few minutes, got in some nutrition, rode steady, and then once things came around, I found the tail end of another group and kept pushing it in. So yeah, I mean, I was worried about the chip seal roads and the rental bike and what everybody was saying, but I felt really strong once I got settled in. And yeah, when I saw the photographers on the course, I definitely made sure I could sacrifice some arrow watts and smile and wave and whatnot, because I'm out there to have a good time, not to finish first. Yeah, I mean, overall, again, I think the bike ride went really well for me, as well as it could have, and really good tactical race. It was a 8-minute or so personal best bike time, so maybe if we were not on chip seal roads, could have been even faster, but it was just a beautiful ride too. I mean, the scenery is awesome, the closed course was amazing, and really truly felt special riding on it and being part of that. So yeah, bike was great, and then next was the run.
On our way to go see Jeff at the bike, you are taking not enough time on the swim.
So the run, really my biggest goal for the race, other than just having a good time, was to run really well. I've run okay for where I'm at as a runner in the last couple halves I've done, but I really just wanted to run strong. My training's been really good, and really the target was just run a 140. Everything else for the day didn't have goals, but I'd already, I feel like, checked some boxes I didn't necessarily set. So PB on the swim, PB on the bike, we're feeling good. So I got on the run. Had to pee in the first mile, so did that, and came out of the Porta John and just kept rolling. I mean, I felt really strong. First 4 miles were more than on target for my pace. Again, wanted to run a 140, and after the first 4 miles, I was at about a 29:30, I think, total time for the first 4 miles. So puts me really well under the 140 with some cushion, just knowing that I might drop off at the end. But during my training runs, I felt good holding that pace or better. So I was feeling really confident, and then just something started to not really feel right. And what ended up happening is I tapered off pretty quick. I mean, every time I was running at a good pace, but had to make a lot of Porta John stops, and something just didn't feel right. And then, between miles 5 and 9, I tried to manage it as best as possible, but really then took a long stop, and kind of the worst came to bear, and I was peeing blood. So not something I expected or really had ever happened before. Pretty shocking. So I took a pretty big break to call out a medic, just to see if I was going to be in any type of serious danger and needed to go to the hospital or something. So I had a couple splits in the middle that were super, super slow. But really I was just trying to manage the pain and the discomfort. So yeah, I mean, the run started out really strong and then went downhill. I mean, physically I still felt great, so I don't know what happened, and it wasn't a lot of blood, but it was there. But yeah, so I just managed the run and got through. My moving time was really close to my goal pace, even counting the issues I was having. But yeah, not a good overall run time, but I'm just happy to have gotten through it and got to the finish. So that's the run. That's the video. That's the recap on my experience starting the Ironman 70.3 World Champs 2024 in Taupo, New Zealand. I'm really, really proud of my race. I think that it's definitely something to be super proud of. Was I on track for kind of a really perfect race day? Yeah, and things kind of went out of hand, but that's racing, it happens. I wasn't gonna land anywhere near the podium. I make no pretenses of being anywhere close to that. I just wanted to have a good time and perform well, and I think I definitely put down a performance I could be proud of. I mean, coming through adversity, really didn't expect to have any type of kidney or blood in my pee issues, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I was on track, felt good, and the race went the way it went. So I'm really happy with how it went. Definitely something I can be proud of, and just super stoked to have been part of it all. I mean, definitely an experience I'll never forget, and maybe I get the chance to race another world champs, who knows, but I'm glad I took advantage of the opportunity, and then got to explore New Zealand for a few weeks after the race. So really happy with how it went. Cheers to the next one.
Proud of you.